I need to clarify my position on this alien carvings thing. Let me be the first one to say that I kind of didn't believe it. It was too good to be true because I was the type of individual that would, peruse eBay for potential artifacts that they might not know are artifacts. And some of those are the Hongshan pieces. I would come across these artifacts and I was just like, this is too good to be true. There's no way this is real. And, years go past and these things have been around forever. And eventually I come across the alien carvings guy. And I had already found some of this stuff and I didn't really see any connection. And I just kind of made friends with the guy. Turns out he's real people. But as he's doing his thing, I'm looking at his artifacts and a lot of this stuff started to become pretty convincing. But then I just kept seeing materials that looked similar and similar, what looked like fabrication methods, honestly. I started to realize that maybe his stuff kind of was connected to mine in some way. And that aided in my confidence that maybe these things were true. But I wasn't really posting it. I didn't think there was like some immediate direct connection like what I shared recently. And then lately, I noticed, holy cow, these geometries are identical, and some of them really made sense of my shapes, made sense of where the breaks were. I mean, like it was kind of a big revelation for me, and it was more like, confirming the truth of his items. These things are true because my things are true. I dug this stuff out of the ground myself, and it's matching his stuff in a bizarre way. I already identified these geometries. I already went across the world and did all this stuff. I know it's a thing. I don't care what any of you guys think. Like, you can say whatever you want. I've seen it. I'm going to die happy knowing what I figured out. This has been an adventure for me. But the impossibility of those geometries connecting so well, I mean, it has to be their stuff. And as I look closer at my things, his stuff is making sense of my stuff. And people don't like it. I don't like the ancient aliens idea. It's tacky. I think it's tacky. I'm sick of the dude with the hair. I don't want to see the reruns. Turn it off. And I'll be the first one to say that it sucks that I have to push this idea. In fact, do you think it's fun? In fact, it's punishment because I was the one telling everybody, yeah, you're not seeing anything, or you're just seeing crap and rocks, dude. It's not real. Well, now here I am believing it, trying to push it, and irony. But I know my stuff is true, and when his stuff starts like making sense of my stuff, now there's no question for me. But just because culture has taught you that those things are aliens from outer space doesn't mean it to be true. Mr. Mythos has a couple videos where he compares all the fables and all these fairy tales from our ancestors, and he actually finds common things among them. And what he kind of determined was it was almost like there was some force or some entity that was appearing in whatever form the culture would accept. So at the time of medieval times, appearing as fairies or goblins or whatever it is. And for us in the modern time, well, they're space aliens. It's a video that you definitely should watch, and it's very enlightening, actually. Before you completely toss out the idea, just consider this. It's possible they're not what we have been told.